Okay, can you hear me now? No? Yes? Can't hear. Can y'all hear me? Someone drop it in the chat. Can you hear me? You can now? Okay, perfect. Well, let's just start on over. And I don't know how to edit that out, but that's fun. All right, so school failed you. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why you should ask better questions before blindly accepting what's been given to you so that you can level up. And, you know, if you followed everything that school taught you, it's no wonder you're struggling. You were never taught how to make money. You were never taught how to think for yourself. And you were never taught how to succeed in the real world. You were taught how to conform so that you can be an employee. The school system has been the same from the 1700s to the 1950s. It was designed for the industrial age where they made you workers to work in factories. That was something that Rockefeller brought in. And we are still living in that same system. And if you don't unlearn what the school drilled into your head, you're going to stay broke, not just in your wallet, but in your spirit, your mind, your emotions. In every aspect of your life, you're going to stay broke because you were not designed or you were not, school was not designed to make you financially free or free in any sense of the word. It was built to make you a worker. You were taught to follow the rules, memorize information, take orders without questioning them. And this is why they never taught you about money, business, or how to think for yourself. Because the goal of school was never to make you rich. It was to prepare you to work for someone else. And so this thing you're seeing on the board here is on this conveyor belt of life. You start as a student and you enter into the job market or college, depending on what you do when you get out. And the end goal is to make you an employee either way. Whether you're going to college or you're on the job market, you're going to be an employee. And we see this so often. People want to start a business and then they go into business with an employee mindset and they start trading time for money. And if you're trading time for money, eventually you're going to run out of the ability to scale. Like there's only so much money and so much manpower you can put in before you can't do anymore. And so the only thing you can do is raise your prices. And at some point, your price per hour is going to scare people away because most people don't make that much an hour, so they can't charge that much an hour. Also, you're going to regular people to try to sell them something they don't need, don't want, and can't afford, instead of going to the people that can afford it, do want it, do need it, and will do something with it. Can I get an amen? So have you ever noticed that some of the richest, most successful people never finished school? Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. As a matter of fact, they were dropouts, most of them. And it's not because they weren't smart. It's not because they got lucky. It's because they realized something early. School does not teach success. So they stopped learning in the system and started learning in real life, and that's why they won. I talk about this in my book, From Waiter to Greater, how anyone can level up from where they are, how I didn't do the traditional route of going from student to, well, I did go to employee, but at some point, I realized that this isn't working. There's got to be a shortcut to get up here to rich. And the shortcut is learning how to level up from where you are without necessarily following what people are telling you to follow, but finding your own path. So I'm gonna show you what school teaches. Okay, nope. uh, School teaches and what success requires. There we go. That's better. So school teaches you to memorize information. Can I get an amen? Can I get a witness? It teaches you to follow instructions or just follow blindly in general, right? It teaches you to avoid mistakes. It also teaches you to avoid partnership. When you work with someone on a test in school, what do they tell you you're doing? Someone put it in the comments. You're cheating, right? I don't have time to wait for the comments. Hey, Jeanette. Yes. Oh, maybe if I checked the comments, I could have seen that you couldn't hear me. Thanks, Walter. I appreciate it. All right. So, um, amen. All right, let's go. So, what does success require? Well, I can try to memorize everything and all this information, but that's just going to overwhelm me and I'm never going to hit record. I'm never going to show up because what if I mess up? What if I forget, right? So, what success requires is for you to solve problems very simply. It doesn't matter what field you're in. I saw something the other day and I reposted it. I don't know if it was on Twitter. Doesn't matter. It said, your paycheck is proof that someone else monetized off of your skills better than you did. And that, ooh, that was an ouch. And it's true. They're solving a problem and they're leveraging your expertise and your time and your manpower to solve that problem when you can do the same thing if you just had the courage to go talk to the people that need their problem solved. So, solving problems, that's what design is. Design is finding out what the problem is, finding out what the desired place that you need those people to be at, and then bridging the gap. How do we solve that problem? Coaching. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? How do we bridge the gap? Restaurants. Are you hungry? We got food. Come sit, pay us, and we will feed you. Or you can get your food to go, right? So solving problems. That's really it. Find problems and solve them. The main problem I'm seeing with a lot of people that are trying to start a business is every time they show up, it's look at me, look what I have, buy my thing. And no one cares. No one wants that. No one wants to just throw their money at someone just because of who they are. They want to know that you can solve a problem for them. When you can solve a problem for someone, and second thing, you can think critically, if the solution you have that is already like a framework you have, like I have the greater framework, but it's principles. So I can adapt that critically thinking about what your problem is and where you want to go and adapt. Maybe not all these letters for you. Maybe you're already doing something right and you just, have to adapt this letter, like transitioning with purpose or, action-oriented goals. Maybe you just need to focus on doing the thing instead of focusing on the outcome. And then learning from failure. Most people are afraid to fail, and so they never move. Can I get an amen? Learning from failure. That's it. School rewards obedience. Life rewards results. And I was just reading this cool book here that my friend Tracy told me about. It's The Power of TED, the empowerment dynamic. And it was talking about the dreaded drama triangle, where it's you're a victim, you're a persecutor, or you're a rescuer. And the antidote to those three are creator. Oh goodness, it was creator, intention. No, creator. There's like an antidote to those three. But either way it goes, it's changing. Creator, challenger, and coach. Thank you. A creator versus a victim stance. Like where your attention goes and your intention goes will determine your results. So I said all that to say, thank you all for tuning in. Please drop in the comments. I'll pay attention to these. It was me. It was you, Walter. You saw that, that post. Oh, wait, maybe you posted it and I reposted it. Either way it goes, it was really cool. So school rewards obedience, life rewards the results. And in school, making mistakes is bad. Let's go back to this. In school, making mistakes is bad. In real life, making mistakes is growth, because you can't grow until you know what not to do. When you start to succeed, people just kind of gas you up and tell you you're great and tell you everything you're doing is right. And, when I was a designer, people would tell me my design was great. It looked great. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't grow from that. Like, I know there's something wrong with it. I already know there's something wrong with it because I made it and I'm human. So if you're following school's rules, you're playing the wrong game. Now, how this almost kept me stuck was I was raised to believe that if you get good grades, you'll be successful. If you follow the path, everything will work out. If you just work hard, you'll get ahead. And for some reason, remove the wrong thing. We'll come back to the whiteboard in a second. Actually, we can do this. Just switch back. There we go. So I did exactly as I was told, and I noticed it wasn't working for me. I'm dyslexic. I have ADHD. I have a learning disability. And really what it is I process information so fast that I can't tell you how I got there. I'm just there. And I can draw it for you. I can show you like kind of what happened, but I don't feel like slowing down to get people there with me, if that makes sense. And so the school system is not friendly for people with learning disabilities. And I would even argue that, like, if you have a learning disability, maybe you just have a superpower and you're in the wrong environment. I followed the system, I worked hard, and I still felt stuck because the system was not built for me to win. And it probably wasn't built for you to win either. Think about it. How many times are you following the rules and doing exactly what people told you to do, how they told you to do it, and it's not working? And then when you get frustrated and you just do what's in your heart anyway, then things start working for you. Somebody's feeling that. Somebody felt that. So the moment I realized that, I stopped waiting for permission. Permission to learn, permission to move, permission to, like, get this degree, this certification, this thing before. I stopped trying to have something to be someone or to do something so that I can be someone. And I started being the person, doing the thing, and then having the life that comes with. I studied real skills. When I went to UXD Academy, they did not teach us from theory. They taught us how to do it in application, and that changed everything. I learned to make money outside of a paycheck. I think it was amazing the first time I ever got paid for something that didn't exist yet. It was just an idea. It hadn't even been formed yet. I just put the idea out there and people paid me. And it was like, this feels illegal. Usually you have to work at least 3 weeks before you see your first paycheck, and then 2 weeks, 1 week, a month, depending on your pay cycle after that to see your money. That wasn't the case. When you start building real value for real people and solving their problems, they'll pay you before you even deliver it. And yeah, my mentor told me that would happen, and I was actually shocked when it happened. Like, and then I stopped playing by the rules because those rules were not designed to help me succeed. And that's when my life changed. Now, I'm going to share with you the new rules of learning. And I hope that, like, these are writer downers right here. This is, if you hear nothing else from me today, this is what I want you to know is the new rules of learning. So, got to share the wipe. But see, wifey over here holding me down. See, that's why I fox with you, because you keep it 92 plus 8. That's 100, by the way. And I didn't say the F word. I said fox. What does the fox say? Anyway, learn by doing. And apologize for the writing. I'm writing on a whatever. Learn by doing. You can read that. Learn by doing. You are never going to learn what not to do until you start doing, right? Like, you're going to learn more by doing the thing than you are by preparing, thinking about it, strategizing, all of these things that we do in preparation. It's not doing the thing. The only thing that's doing the thing is doing the thing. Right? We can talk about writing a book. We can dream about writing a book. We can tell everyone we're writing a book. But until we write the book, we're not going to learn, like, what's wrong or what problems we're going to run into with writing a book. We're not going to learn that we have to buy ISBN codes and get a barcode, and that the spread for the book has to be all in one, and the contents have to be in a separate file, and you have to upload them a certain way. And there's certain things and categories you have to put them in, and there's tricks to becoming a bestseller. Like, you can't learn that until you get in motion. And then, so that's the first new rule of learning. Oh, that is a funky looking one. Okay, number 2, solve real problems. What do I mean by real problems? Well, if I'm making, let's say, a PDF that teaches you ABC, but people are looking for 1, 2, 3, am I solving a real problem? No. As long as I'm thinking about what I can get from the market or what I can get from people, I'm not serving anyone but myself. So if I'm solving real problems, well, you have a text thread like I have a text thread. You have messages that come through all the time, and I'm sure people ask you questions all the time. And those questions that are asked frequently, those can become frequently asked questions. Those frequently asked questions can become a repeatable, scalable system to deliver a solution for the problem that everyone keeps coming to you for. It can become an offer. It can become a PDF, a course, a workbook, a event, a webinar, what's the word I'm looking for? A workshop. You can do a live custom workshop. Hey, I've had 13 people message me about the same thing. And what I'm going to offer you today is a workshop. It's in person. It's in North Richland Hills. I'm foreshadowing here because this is what I'm offering, custom workshops. You got a problem, and if enough people have that problem, you can come with me to my auditorium that I have access to now, and we can solve that problem in real life. You just pay me for my time. I show up. We work together. We have fun. We feel each other in the room because that's better than this. I can't see you. I can't feel you. I don't even know who's watching me right now, and I can't even see your comments. There we go. Walter said, yep. All right. So, and then by solving real problems, you will never stop learning. Now, you can never stop learning and never take action, right? This is a cycle, and never take action. And all that learning is in vain. Why does it matter what I'm learning if I'm not sharing it with the world? And so never stop learning. Always engage, embrace continuous learning. Engage with the content that you see. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been stuck in this doom scroll where I'm just endlessly consuming content. And it's overwhelming me. And then I don't do anything with all that content. It's just useless knowledge in my head. Every now and then I tell someone something when it applies, but like, do you know how hard it was to hit record? How long I've had this video ready for you? How long I've had this topic, and how many other topics I have? And I'm saying this to you because I need it. So we're helping each other. By me showing up and helping you, I'm helping me too. So learn by doing, solve real problems, and never stop learning from the mistakes you make as you're solving those real problems and you're doing stuff. And you'll never stop learning by doing if you continue doing. Now, school is programming us that learning is this linear path, and once we graduate, we don't have to learn anymore. Yes, share the knowledge, Tiffany. Absolutely. Learning doesn't stop after school, but because there's a grade system and there's this concept of graduation, it's like the arrival. Like, we humans are hardwired to search for the end, to search for the thing that, like, what's at the end of the road? What's at the end of the tunnel? Success isn't about degrees. It's about real skills. How many of y'all have graduated college and still feel like an imposter and you have no idea what you're doing? And then you go to apply for the job, and what happens? Well, looks here like, yeah, you have the degree, but you don't have, someone put it in the chat. It starts with an E. He's typing. I know he's typing right now. You don't have experience. Yeah, Walter says, amen. Don't have experience. But you need the job to get the experience, but you need the experience to get the job. It's like losing your license and your social at the same time. You need your license to get your social, but you need your social to get your license. So where do we start here? Real life skills. Real life skills. When you have real life skills, this is how I was able to go from $213 an hour to $250,000 a year without a degree, because I have real life skills. I've been a parent for the last 20 something years of my life. I've been in the trenches doing the thing with the people. I've been in crack houses with crackheads, boardrooms with billionaires, and I found there's a common thread. Everyone feels like an imposter that's looking over their shoulders to see if someone can realize that they're not who they think they are or who they say they are. Whew. And if you stop learning after school, you're already falling behind. Like, the minute you stop learning is the minute you start dying. I'll come back to this whiteboard here in a second. So when you stop learning, you start dying. Your brain will atrophy if you don't use it, just like any other muscle. I don't know if you've been using ChatGPT lately, but for me, the last 2 years of using GPT for little things has turned into this full dependence on GPT to give me everything. I don't want to think. I just want to, go to ChatGPT and say, do this thing, or here's this prompt. It's elegantly designed. Here's all the things I need. Spit it out. Give it to me. And then I create a new Google Doc and I put all that stuff in a Google Doc and I never touch it, because it's all head knowledge. It sounds real good, but it doesn't resonate because it's not lived experience, right? The richest people in the world are lifelong learners. Um, you can literally, like, the people that are the wealthiest play their way to wealth. And what do I mean by that? Athletes, what do they do for a living? They play a game. And when they play that game, they make millions of dollars. And we sit on the sidelines watching them live this life. And, if they're in football, they're getting tackled until their brain is damaged. And, they never learn how to manage money like any of us. And then they lose it all. And you're like, how did they go broke? Well, because they didn't understand the thing that we needed the most. When I would ask people, do you feel like school served you or school prepared you for the real world? Everyone, there's no one that said yes. Everyone said no. And when I asked, what thing do you wish that school would have taught you? You know what it is? Finances, taxes, how to manage my money, how to budget, how to start my own business, like how to do the things that we need to do once we get out. Like, we are not prepared for the real world. Like, it's funny watching my kids like step into their adulthood and then realize that, like, what was it Tyler said? Mom, did you know houses don't come with toilet paper? No, it wasn't Tyler. It was a reel. Okay. Well, some of the things our kids say to us, like, it was Maddie. Maddie said, she said, what was it? Something about trash bags being stocked. That was the same reel. Okay. It was a reel. See, that's what I'm talking about. The consumption, the overconsumption of information. You don't know where something came from, but watching the kids like learn that there are certain bills you have to pay, like electric, water, gas, gas bill for your car, like all these different things that they weren't even told how to manage, how to prepare for. They just think they can move out and pay rent and that's going to pay for everything. Like, all things are included. Lifelong learners, they're going to find out ways to like prepare for or learn on the go, learn by doing, learn as they go, talking about the new rules for learning, learn by doing. It is scary. It is very scary to learn by doing. You have no idea what's next. You have no idea what's coming up, and you got to move anyway. Yes. Move in spite of fear. The richest people don't just read books. They don't just watch videos. They apply what they learn immediately. Okay. So there's this cycle I learned from one of my coaches, and it was read, think. What do you think's next? Act. I read. I assimilate a new. He said it's all mafia. School where professors expect you to learn on your own while you're paying. Yes, man, that is so true. Like, I'm paying you to learn, and then I got to go out and do extra work to memorize your way for your ego so that I can pass your test. And then I don't know if you've dealt with it. There's been a teacher that, like, the reason I didn't finish biology 2, I think it was, or chemistry 2, was because he was a stickler for like spelling and English and his name and knowing who he was. And that had nothing to do with the class. But like, it was so much ego in feeding the teacher and his ego that it made it impossible for me to learn the information anyway that I came there to learn. I was learning about his dissertation in college and all these things he did, and no one cares about you. Anyway, I digress. So read a little something, take notes. Take notes on what you learned. Think about those notes from a 6-dimensional perspective. What do I mean by that? There's a video I put on YouTube called 6D Thinking, and it's horrible quality, but you'll get the gist of it. Basically, there's a positive aspect to a thought, to a piece of information. There's a negative aspect, and then there are 4 types of personalities that you're communicating to. So you have the commanders, who I call the power panthers. They want to know what the ROI is. They want to know what the end result is for them investing their time, money, energy. Then you have the organizers, the orderly owls. They're trying to figure out what the schedule is, what the agenda is. They need to know like the calendar dates. They have all their tentacles on the different things, trying to keep it in order. Then you have the kind koala. That's my wife. She just wants to know how people feel. She wants to make sure that everything is flowing so that everyone's at peace, right? And you're communicating for all these different personalities. So when you're thinking about something you just read, think about it from all these different perspectives. Oh, and did I mention the zippy zebra? That's me. That's the ones that want to make it fun. What? Oh, I'm not sharing the whiteboard anymore. Thank you. See, this is why she's here. That's why she's here. Where's the whiteboard? There you go. Y'all can see that. Okay, yeah. Read, think, act. Take notes. Think about it from 6 dimensions. What's the positive aspect of the fact? What's the negative aspect of the fact? Who am I talking to in this moment? Am I touching everyone in this moment? And that's how you stay ahead. You apply what you learn immediately. Immediately. Act on it. Learn from failure. Learn by doing. What do we say? Learn by doing, solve real problems, never stop learning. Read, think, act. I'm putting like stuff out here that, he said commanders are in Washington. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're all sitting in the same room. And then I just want to end with this. If you're following the rules you learn in school, you will stay stuck. And how do you get unstuck? Well, it's a really good question. There is good news. You can reprogram your mind to think differently. And you're doing it right now by watching this video. I appreciate you tuning in. And, this isn't new advice. Actually, even the Bible told us this 2,000 years ago. In Romans 12:2, it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by what? By the renewing of your mind. And that verse goes on to talk about the spiritual gifts. So if you're confused about what your gift is, go to that verse and find out what the gifts are and then see where yours fits and then learn how to apply your gift to the world, because we're breaking out of the old system. What's the old system? Hey, Darian, right on point. Transformed. Yes, sir. So the old system is conform. And the new system, Darius just said it, is transformed. So how can you begin to transform your life today? What can you do? I'm leaving that as an open question. I can give you some ideas, but really what's going to happen is you're going to have to try it for yourself. Like, you can put on all these different frameworks that Alex Hormozy is selling you with, $6,000 for 200 free books, which when you break it down is $30 per book. So where were the free books at? Anyway, I digress. With Romans 12:2 underneath this lesson, remember that school taught you how to conform, but success requires you to transform. So start learning in the real world, learn by doing, start thinking for yourself and solve real problems, right? Critically think about the problems people have and how can you solve them in an elegant way? And then never stop learning. Start applying what actually works. Take that advice that people are giving you and then go try it for yourself. Everything that I told you in this video, you're not going to know if it's true unless you go apply it, right? The future belongs to those who are willing to unlearn what the world taught and renew their mind, to play the game that God actually designed them to win. God designed us to win this game. Like, there is no if, like, how to put this. We don't have to guess whether we can win this game or not. We're going to win the game. So if you're ready to level up, I wrote a book called From Waiter to Greater. And if you're serious about reprogramming your mind for wealth or for whatever it is you want, because it's a deprogramming and reprogramming, you can grab a copy of From Waiter to Greater. I'm pretty sure that everybody here watching me right now, he says, still confused about that. The math isn't mathing. Yeah, Alex Hormozy, that was wild. He was live 2 days in a row, 16 hours in both days. And like, people are just buying it like crazy. Of course, he broke a Guinness World Record of selling that many books because he sold them $200 at a time. The guy's a marketing genius. That's the kind of people I'm talking about. Like, don't just fall into the FOMO of getting what they're telling you to get because all the bonuses they're talking to you about. Like, think about the psychology of why that actually worked. That's the thinking I need you to be thinking about. Look beyond the veil of what they're showing you and see what the psychology underneath why it works is. And yes, question everything. Thank you, Walter. So drop a comment. What's one lie that school taught you that you had to unlearn and that was painful for you to unlearn? And again, if you're serious about reprogramming your mind for leveling up in general, grab a copy of From Waiter to Greater. You can go to actually, you don't even have to go to the website anymore. You can go straight to Amazon and get it. But I would like to engage with you, so I would love it if you went to waitertogreaterbook.com, because with that you get some bonuses. And I will send you the book, or we can meet and I can sign it for you. The bonus is the digital workbook. You can get the workbook on Amazon. I just have to make a couple tweaks and put it on there and approve it. But it will be available on Amazon for $27. The book is $25. It's $20 if you get it on my website and give me your email so that I can bug you with some really cool content. And I'll show you exactly how I rewired my mind and built success in God's way. $213,000 and $250,000 a year is not a mistake. It is intentional design of how I show up in the world and how people experience me. So stop following the rules that weren't built for you. Learn the ones that were. And until the next time, I will see you. Thank you, Walter. No, you are awesome. She said, do the YouTube things. They taught us time is money, and it is not. Time is actually infinitely more valuable than money, because if I gave you a check for $1 million, you would take it. But if I told you you had to end your life tomorrow, you would not want that check anymore, because you want your time more than you want that money. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for those of you that are watching on the replay. If you are not subscribed to the Question Everything channel on YouTube, please do. I'm no longer doing anything on my music page. I've already noticed exponential growth on my Question Everything page, because it's not a music page. The other page is made for music. So when I interrupt people with gems like this, when they're just trying to jam out and they skip ahead, YouTube is like, yeah, nobody's listening to his stuff. That means it must be bad. Let me suppress it. But in just a few days, we've seen the milestones and the little hockey stick growth happening on this channel. So we're going to be doing everything on the Question Everything channel. We're going to continue to question everything, because that's how we grow. And what was the YouTube thing? Be bold and courageous. Do everything that you do with passion, and I promise you will have a life that you love. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, share. Hate me if you really feel the need to take it there. We can address that too. Question me, question you, question everything, because that's what we do. All right, guys. Till next time. Thank you, Tiffany, for dropping that link in the comments. Yeah, it'll take you to the YouTube channel that I want you to subscribe to. Let's break out of that old system that school taught us and be bold and courageous. Do everything that we do with passion and have that life that we love. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.